The focus at the G7 World Leader Summit today is again on the U.S.-Iran deal. There's still no public text of the agreement, and lawmakers back in Washington are calling for information and briefings. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest from Geneva, Switzerland.
President Trump at the G7 World Leader Summit expressing confidence in the U.S.-Iran agreement.
We have a deal that's a fair deal. It's a good deal.
But 48 hours after the deal was signed digitally by the president and the vice president, there is still no public text of the agreement.
I'd like to get a formal setting first before we do that, but I have no problem with that.
Senate Republican leader John Thune told reporters he hasn't seen the agreement.
We are requesting that, and I assume we will at some point hear from the administration with greater specificity about what's in that memorandum.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer demanding transparency and briefings for lawmakers.
No one quite understands what Trump is up to, and now he's keeping everybody in the dark.
Israel also requested to see the agreement, but according to an Israeli source and a U.S. official familiar with the matter, that request was denied. Senior administration officials say the deal reopens the Strait of Hormuz and lifts the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. But the U.S. and Iran are giving conflicting information. The president insisting the Strait of Hormuz will be a free waterway.
The strait is going to be open toll-free, and it's toll-free beyond the 60 days.
But senior administration officials say the deal ensures it will be toll-free for 60 days. Then the issue has to be renegotiated. Iran, meanwhile, says it plans to collect service fees in the strait. And there are questions about the negotiations over funding for reconstruction in Iran, sanctions relief, and the unfreezing of Iranian assets. Israel's operations against Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon could be a major hurdle to a final U.S.-Iran deal. Iran says they cannot make a deal to end the war until Israel's forces are out of Lebanon. But the Israeli prime minister says they're going to stay there as long as necessary. President Trump says a U.S.-Iran deal can survive if Israel continues its strikes in Lebanon. Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.